Man, it was supposed to be at least three of the security guards right there with him the whole time. As soon as he touched down, a lot of people wanted him to go and check in and everything like that, but that's not how it worked, man. He went directly to what he was gonna do to see his artists and his people. But then once they took his keys and he stopped answering the phone, that's when everything went wrong. They knew that something was happening at that time, man. This is what made them panic, and they start scrambling, looking around. Big Moochie Grape, once he changed the address of the turkey drive, no, everybody was like, where are we supposed to go? Where's Young Dolph at? They kept calling him and calling him. Remember, they found his phone and the wallet in the bushes behind the cookie shop. So whoever was with Dolph at that time, they basically tried to take everything off his hands and all that. This is why he couldn't like literally call his brother to come down immediately. Once they knew, they seen that car in front of the cookie shop, that's when everybody started calling and said, yeah, we seen his car, we seen Dolph's car, it was parked right here, it looked like he had the cookie shop, this and that. They rushed to get there, and then they noticed the whole place was locked down. It was shut down and everything like that. Man, at first, they looked at it like it was definitely somebody watching him, because how is it that he didn't have none of his security with him? And they made it to where they don't show none of the footage from the whole place or any of the businesses around. We still waiting for a lot of the footage, because we want to be able to see how did he end up at that place at that time like they said he was doing. Did it really happen like that? And you got to understand, a lot of these times, man, with the whole Dolph footage, like it could be sent to TMZ, it could be bought by, a lot of people said that Yogotti tried to buy it, Jay-Z tried to buy it and everything. At the end of the day, we gonna get the justice for Dolph. If y'all rocking with him, I want you to comment down below, let me know where y'all from. Put the Dolph emoji, put LLYD, and basically y'all gotta realize that this whole thing now is coming to the point where a lot of the people that they literally said was part of it, they telling on each other now. And so they getting to the point where they know that it's certain details that they still trying to find out about that was swept under the rug. A lot of people didn't want to actually come out and say, did they see the two dudes that ran out the front door and literally got into the getaway car and left off? This is the people that they were trying to find the whole time. They said that at first they captured the wrong people. Then now they're going back and saying that it was basically Yo Gotti's brother and the Govan guy. But why would they let him out like that? Why would they let the people go unless they were trying to give up a bigger fish in this whole entire chess game? And so this is what they looking at, man. We were Dolph. Put the Dolph emojis in the comment section. Now the thing that they looking at is the fact that once the security footage that was sold to TMZ is supposed to show exactly how he got to the front of the whole building. It was supposed to show him walking in and everything. A lot of people think that it didn't even go down like that. Why is it taking so long for everybody to see the footage of the whole thing that went down, man? They saying that they only gonna show the footage to the grand jury, the actual people on the trial that's gonna be voting guilty or not guilty. Those are the only people that's gonna be able to see the footage, and they're gonna look at it and decide whether basically if this whole thing was people following him, did somebody come in behind him, how did this whole thing happen? Because they could have had people waiting in the bushes, and as soon as he goes into the store or into the shop, then they have people come behind him and everything. Either that, or it was already a lot of people waiting inside the lobby or in one of the manager's rooms, one of them side little closets or something like that. And then when he's taking the order, they popped up out of nowhere. He could have even been counting what he had, because they said that it was supposed to be a stash spot for him, and that they had a lot of, like, Dolph had pretty much fronted them a lot of money to run it up, and he came to get it back, and basically they had already dropped the location on him and everything like that. Because how did these people know to run up to that store at that exact time? And we never seen the footage of him driving his own car and pulling up into the front of that shop. This is what everybody's trying to figure out. How did Young Dolph end up there? Because it's a split. Like, half the people think that somebody brought him there. They had already did something at another place and then brought Dolph through the back door. You guys remember, he went to that interview at the care facility and they took his keys from him. The reason why they would take his keys is so that they could actually pull up with that car in front of that shop. Once they put the car at the shop, then they try to bring Dolph through the back door. Try to make it seem like he pulled up there. They cut that part out of the cameras. Either they unplugged the cameras at that time, or when they sold it, somebody had to chop that part out. Then the next thing you know is that it says he was calling his people. They try to say he was on the phone. So when they look up the phone records, they should be able to see the phone calls that he actually made in his last moments. They said he called Big Moochie Grape, he called Snoop Bands, and neither of them answered. What was they doing? And you gotta understand, a lot of people could have already known that it was money on his head. And this is why they were avoiding being around Dolph them last 2 days. And if they got work, because you know the word spread fast, is Memphis. A lot of people, they pick up on stuff quick. So if somebody said, hey, it's 100K on Dolph head, 500K on Dolph head, then they're probably not gonna go hang out with Dolph that day. But they never called him and gave him the warning. If somebody would have called him and gave him the warning, they basically would have been able to prevent a lot of stuff. Maybe somebody did call Dolph and told him, yeah, they said they got money on your head and people looking for you, this, and that. He might not have thought that it was gonna be somebody that pulled up to where he was gonna go. He thought he was gonna be with his people. He thought he was gonna be with the security, with his brothers and everything. It was supposed to be 3 security guards that pulled up to that same spot. Why is it that he got there first? And they never showed how he got there. It's just, he just magically appeared inside the shop. When they run that footage, you're going to be able to see exactly what they did, because by the stories, the interviews, when they asked the questions to all the people that worked there, it was a lot of stuff that's hinting that they have a lot to hide and that they not saying exactly how everything went down. A lot of people think that it was a lot of stuff that's being kept in the shadows and swept under the rug. But in ultimate reality, everything that's done in the dark is gonna come to light. We're gonna be able to find out how exactly this whole thing went down. And once you realize how it went down, man, you're gonna be shocked to find out who's actually in on it and who did this. Because they don't believe that the guys from the outside was the ones that was the only people. It was not just 2 dudes from the outside, but it was a whole nother group of dudes inside the shop. This is why 007, the main witness, she said she saw the guy with a tank top and a baseball jersey coming out the side. Now, whoever that is that she saw, it's no other stores back there in the woods or nothing like that. And they didn't come out of no front entrance or anything. So that only leaves, the only thing that's in that area is the back door of the cookie shop, where everybody says that this is where everyone that came, and basically the people that ran up in there and try to take the money out the register, they used that same door. That's the same door that Raven said that early that morning she came and unlocked it when they opened the store up. And it wasn't a lot of customers. They said Dolph was one of the first customers in there. So shortly after they opened that door, then all of a sudden people start running in there, and supposedly when Dolph's supposed to be in there. And so that means everybody already knows that they keep that door unlocked. They keep it wide open for whatever reason. And so they use that as an opportunity to try to get at the dude right when he was in the shop. So whatever they did, they could have even had, remember they said that they took a lot of stuff out of that cookie shop for evidence. Whatever was in that room, they took the computers, they took the video surveillance system and everything. And it was supposed to be a whole new footage surveillance system that they had just got 2 weeks ago. And how is it that all of a sudden we can't see none of the footage from that? Because once we see the footage, we're going to be able to know exactly how Dolph got there. And this is the big mix-up, because once we see that, we're going to know what car was following him. Once we see who's the car that's following him and everything, then they just going to go back to the footage of him down the street. Was the car still following him there? You go to the place that he went to before. Once you have the footage of where everything finally happened at, then you could start to go backwards and see where they came from. Who was following him? Where did he go before that? Where was he just at? And it paints the picture of exactly how everything went down. Because now they about to get the justice. They already got a lot of people, but the people, they switching up a lot of the stuff that they're saying. Like literally, the first time that they asked